Mr. Zandrew.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah,
Our
some issues, but we're back and we're getting ready to go into our fourth and final game of the day. London versus Nvision. Let's talk about this one, really. I mean, Nvision, ups and downs. London, ups and downs. I mean, London are technically ahead in the standings right now, 5-3. Nvision 3-5. So if you go purely off numbers, this is London favoured.
Yeah.
What do you think, though?
I mean, I feel like, particularly over this weekend, Merp has sort of shored up some of the earlier week issues that I definitely had, the earlier concerns I had, particularly surrounding his frontline play. And honestly, since London have looked like a much better team, they've looked a lot more cohesive. And I think, they still remained with that core identity of, then Voxney is the carry. We give this guy the resources. We have PFI and BD working in tandem together from mid jungle to try and rotate down as consistent as they can to give him a free time. And I feel like into the team that Nvision are, there could be some potential issues of that. Of course, we have sort of spoken at length now about how Nvision do like to play through Spark, and they are a relatively slower team in the league, much like Resolve, but they don't quite have that same level of macro or the level of players at the same time. So a team like London, who are as proactive as they are in the early game, can certainly look to punish a very sort of what can be considered slow to ramp up Nvision team.
It's kind of a battle of the bot, isn't it, really, when you got Spark versus Voxney. So this is going to be a very interesting game. I expect to see a lot of attention thrown towards these AD carries. I, first of all, don't want to see Kai'Sa. I'd like to see that banned. We've had it pretty much open. I think we've had it open every game today. I mean,
so the thing with Kai'Sa is that she's like strong enough to be banned. Yeah. But it's not like there's a Chris Berg level player in the game where, you feel like, all right, we just have to ban Kai'Sa or first pick it so we don't see it, or just ban it so we don't see it, because obviously we're talking about it being banned. So yeah, we have had it all day. I would like to see a little bit of a variation in AD carry picks. It'll be cool.
I just know Spark likes it. I just know Spark really likes it.
Yeah.
Nvision like to just play things that will support Spark on the Kai'Sa.
Yeah.
We know Voxney, he's very flexible. He, like all of the meta champions, I can see him playing.
Yeah.
So, things like the Jhin, is something we've seen him quite a lot on recently. But we have seen him on the Kai'Sa, we've seen him on the Xayah. I just think, for me, I'd like to see a bit of attention towards this bot lane. Yeah. Just because I know these Spark and Voxney are the kind of players that will take over a game if they're given a hyper carry. Now, into picks and bans, we'll have to see where the attention is. There goes Lulu.
Wow. Who's surprised by that one? Yeah, no, I mean, it's been a pretty consistent ban versus Nvision. London, obviously getting the memo, like most of the league here, just don't give the guy Lulu, or just don't give the team Lulu. And I'll have to see whether we also see the follow-up Seraphine ban, and then maybe, what a surprise. What a surprise, we're getting the Seraphine ban too. And then on the Nvision side, I think we're moving away some aggressive picks from London. I would actually like to see a bit of a pivot, potentially leave Pantheon. Well, and now at this point it's kind of awkward because Pantheon's up, but I would have actually liked to have seen a Twisted Fate ban away from London, because they're one of the few teams that actually plays Twisted Fate in the league. And when they have played it, it's actually looked really good, and they've put so much time into just sort of, putting the enemy bottom side into a hole that they really can't recover from. So I imagine we could just see the Pantheon ban now be followed up. Otherwise, it would remain open. They also do have the Talia as well to worry about. So we could see both of them actually slip through if Nvision feel like it. We'll have to see what the choice is.
Well, looks like it's a skipped ban.
We had
get information on whether or not they actually did skip a ban, because I feel like most teams are not willing to skip a ban unless there's something I didn't know about. Unless I missed something. But it looks like London actually just going to lock in Talia.
Yeah.
I mean, that was better than Kalista.
Okay, right. No, they're going to prioritize the Kai'Sa here. So it makes a lot of sense, specifically into Spark as well. But it does give Nvision the opportunity to just go Pantheon Talia if they really want it. But they actually want to secure Spark's AD carry immediately, which whilst I understand the agency to want to do so, there are a couple of other powerful picks up, especially with the ban is missing. There's no sixth ban. And with Kai'Sa being locked in, it's not going to go top. It's not going to go mid lane.
Yeah, and it is a legit ban. They decided not to ban anything. That's what I'm getting. There's no communication. They've locked in a rotation. So this looks like they went, you know what? We're just going to not deny something that we might want. And the Gragas is going to get picked up by London. So now looking towards maybe a support to pair up with that Kaiser. You've got the likes of the Rel, you've got the likes of the Alistair. There's a few things left up at the moment.
Yeah, Rel would be a really, really powerful lock-in. I also wouldn't be too surprised to see Billy potentially take his pick here either. It could be something they would be thinking about, but support would definitely be the safest blind in this kind of scenario. Something like the Thresh would probably be the best thing I would imagine to go down. And it seems like they want to go down that route. It does sort of dissuade a lot of the, favored Xayah pairings, Rakan obviously being the top one. We also have the likes of Rel and Alistar too, but we're actually going to see a bit of a throwback to last split where even Muffin got a bunch of Zoe games in the back end of the split, and he looks so monstrous on this champion. This split, it's kind of been absent from his champion pool, but he is going to lock it in here, and there we go. We see the Twisted Fate removed away. I think that's a very good step in the right direction for this draft, and wouldn't be too surprised to see it follow up with maybe something like an Orianna or a Syndra ban as well.
Or just no ban. Let's just do a no ban phase.
Maybe Nvision just feel like not banning anything. Yeah, that's also true. Looking over to London, they are going to remove away the Camille, just a strong option in general in this meta, and Lucian being banned away from Beely isn't really too big of a surprise ever since that performance. Actually, it might have been into Nvision. It was quite a while ago now. I'm actually not.
It was a long time ago when we saw Beely on the Lucian, but it's pretty much been banned against him every game since.
Yeah.
It's just a solid pick, and into the Zoe, it's actually quite nice as well. Ornn is going to be the final ban away here in the top side, and now it's over to Nvision. I assume we're probably going to see a jungler here.
I mean, they have the
counter. Oh, they've got support actually.
So they're probably looking to counter support here in whatever way they can. It would be pretty difficult to outright counter Thresh in this scenario, but there's loads of supports up. The only one that really rings bells is Nautilus. There you go. Because all of the other supports don't really counter Thresh. All of the S tier picks don't really counter Thresh in that regard to lane. So Nautilus being able to just have that point and click CC, I think very valuable to Nvision here. And now for London, I mean, mid and top name of the game. I think Orianna or the Syndra, probably the two best picks for BD to lock in here. Though he may have something else in mind. But I think just into the Zoe, it just makes so much sense. Yeah. And this Gragas for London is actually, it was a freeway flex. PFI, one of the few junglers in the league that plays it in the jungle. So we'll have to see whether we get a lock-in for jungle here. The Talia is still there, but I don't think you'd want to have such an AP heavy draft. So I imagine we actually just get a pick from Apillion. Renekton still remains. Aatrox still remains. Plenty of picks up in that sense. But they do like a little bit of hard engage in terms of something to layer on top of something like a Cask or a Death Sentence. And I think the Volibear can kind of fall under that category. So I'm okay with this pick. And now it's up to Akers to see what he can actually find into the Gnar, into the Volibear. I think the Gnar would be a nice answer.
Well, remember, this Pantheon could technically go top, and they could just lock in something like the Talia here for the jungle, and then, I mean, that's going to really make this life hard, but may looking to move away from that. They might actually just be running Yuna in the jungle, and that is going to be the case because the Gnar's locked in for Akers, so pretty annoying lane for Mapillion now on the Volibear to deal with, but now the teams are locked in. What are you making of them? What are the win conditions here, Jamalda?
Yeah, I mean, actually, one thing to note is we could, though it's very old-fashioned, we could see Volibear jump, but I don't think it's going to happen, because then you would give Gragas a much easier time in the top side, and Volibear would actually be able to jungle versus Pantheon a little more handily, but I think we are just going to see PFI piloting the Gragas. He is far more comfortable on this champion. You would imagine no one's really playing jungle anyway, but two team compositions here. I think Nvision looking to probably get really aggressive around the bottom side. When you've got this Pantheon, you've got the Nautilus, there's a lot of CC to set up for on these bottom side dives, and you've got that support counter matchup. Honestly, Xayah has a really good time into Kai'Sa in the early stages, so I expect action around there on the bottom side. And honestly, come those team fights, you probably want to just try and set BB Muffin up for those long-range paddle stars and bubbles. On the London side, a little more all over the place, I suppose, though the grand scheme of things, likely to just be team fighting, finding opportunities with those Cask and Death Sentences.
Yeah, well, we'll be loading through into the game nice and soon for our fourth and final game of the day and of the week, to be honest. It's been a long week here, week 4 UKLC, having our show start on Saturday. Doing the exact same thing next week as well. So if you're a fan, you got a lot of league to watch, especially if you're watching NLC, because
Yeah.
NLC plus UKLC at the moment, 6 days a week. It's more than a full-time job.
Almost, yeah,
but
it's basically full-time.
It's great. It's so much content to watch. I mean, we're all locked down, chilling out at home, and there's more League of Legends than you know what to do with, and you can shake a stick at. But you all have a second monitor. Everyone has a second monitor. So you can just whip it on. If you don't, UKLC's on the BBC, so you can just slap it on your TV.
Exactly.
Anyway,
it's easy
I thought you were gonna cut. I thought you were gonna pick up from there.
You know what? I thought it would be great. No. It's very easy to watch League of Legends these days, particularly the UKLC. Hey, hi.
Man, you threw me under the bus, dude. Well, we are loaded onto the Rift, getting ready to go into our final game of the day between London and Nvision. And honestly, loving both of these comps. I actually am. I'm excited to see how this game's going to go down.
I think what's exciting about these competitions, there's a lot of explosive, abilities, ultimates that can just be sort of thrown out at a whim, and all of a sudden it turns into a big snap engage. So, honestly, I feel like this game off draft can go either way, and both these teams aren't exactly far away from each other in the standings. So, I have to see.
I disappeared off your screens for a moment, and then we're back in.
Yeah.
So we're into game. We were having a few tech issues, as you do, but we are now onto the Rift.
Here, final game of the week. Final game of Super Week. Super Week number 1, that is. Like you said, Jake, plenty of League of Legends action.
Is there 2 or 3 weeks of the Super Week?
2. So we've got a free game day week
next week.
This week coming.
Oh yeah, sorry, we're on Monday.
Yeah, we're on Monday.
It's really weird because our week starts at the end of the week.
Yeah. And
bleeds into the beginning of the next week. So it gets kind of confusing. We're working on is it banks that operate on Sunday at the start of the week? Some places operate on Sunday being the start of the week, not the end of the week.
I actually do not know. But maybe you're right. I don't know. Maybe it is banks. But no level 1 shenanigans. We've not had any level 1 shenanigans today.
No, we haven't.
Yeah, it's something Viper Room was calling for throughout the entirety of his first week here. And of all the teams that gave it to him, who do you think it was? I
don't want to guess because I'm going to be wrong. Eminem?
No, of course it's Eminem.
Okay,
Eminem
cool.
gave them a level 1. It was very creative, actually. Much like what we saw today. Very creative level 1 out of Eminem. Speaking of creative, Hepe wasn't going to look for anything. Also, something you may not have been able to sit down and watch. Hepe had a fresh performance where it would be easier to count the hooks that he missed. Put it that way. So he had a very successful game. So we'll see if he can replicate that as well. Because the following day, yesterday, he had the pick removed from him. It was just outright banned. The Barrage just didn't want to give him the champion. Oh, okay. Volibear deals a lot of trade damage in lane, especially off the E start. Junglers, both starting on that top side. Nothing crazy going on. Though, like I said, expecting Yuna to be pathing towards the bottom side to try and make something happen. With all the CC from Longstaff and Spark. There is only so much safety Thresh and Kai'Sa can have in the early stages. See if PFI can help alleviate some of that pressure.
Well, for the moment, pretty chill laning phase. I mean, we're only on the 2nd or 3rd wave, so don't know what I'm expecting. Junglers just full clearing their jungles and kind of chilling for the moment.
Oh, nice bubble. Pop that for a bit of extra damage.
Well, yeah, London have the shove in this bot side. Kind of expected with the Kai'Sa. Hook comes out from Jeppe. Not going to find anything there. Junglers may just look to contest this bottom crab.
Yeah. But it's London with first move here, so I feel like Yuna's going to probably be bullied away from this crab. Going to have to path up to the top side if he wants that one. Believe that vision plant didn't actually quite spot him out. I saw no pings, so I'm not actually entirely sure whether London are aware Yuna's on his way to the top crab, but not seeing him on the bottom crab should give London enough of an indicator to know, give or take, where the Nvision jungler is. just a trade of Skull Crab so far. I want to see if Hepe can replicate some of that success.
Well, so far, he's thrown 1 hook that we've seen, and he missed. So, 0% hit rate at the moment.
Yeah, 0%.
Oh, he hit a minion,
well, he
I
hit
guess?
a minion.
I guess that counts. Does that count as a hit?
It's like, we call it like half a hook hit, you know? Like, it might have hit the enemy champion if the...
It was a 4 out of 10 hook. PFI is actually making his way over. Should just be able to avoid the vision. Thank you for the toggle observer. And might just sneak into that alcove. Is able to do so. And now they're coming forward. There's the flay. There's the lantern. There's the belly bop. So much CC layered in. And Spark is taken out. First blood for Denvoxney.
Yeah. And again, we've said London, they want to play around Denvoxney. They want to make his lane and his life so comfortable as Yuna trying to make a response happen in the top side. Merp's going to flash. Yeah,
Merp's underneath the tower. He's getting jumped onto. They got the wallet for the stun, but Merp's able to get away safely.
Yeah, Merp able to escape. And London off the back of that, just convenience. 5-minute mark hit. They are going to start up the dragon here, and should be a pretty free pickup. Yuna's actually sticking around in that top rush. He's not even recalling. So now he's going to start his recall channel. Have to see PFI is able to capitalize anywhere else outside of that dragon, because Yuna spent a lot of time there, but doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. And we're going to go into a pause.
Yeah, do have a light pause. There are some lag issues experiencing by everyone, apparently, because we're also lagging really hard. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm kind of guessworking what's going on in this game because I am seeing it in frames, and that is it. Does look like the pause has ended on their side, so hopefully it's going to end on my side, because this is going to get really fun when we get to 5-on-5s.
Well,
yeah.
Thank goodness that you are the play-by-play. I can fill time whilst nothing's going on. You've got to play-by-play this, so you know, good luck with that. This pause has ended quite swiftly. And honestly, I'm kind of excited to see BB Muffin on this Zoe pick again. First time he's been on it this split. And he certainly was a menace on it in the backside of the split, as Merp looking for a nice trade, but I'm not quite going to be able to find all of it. And honestly, did get to a point last split where whilst BB Muffin was quite frequently on a lot of these utility picks, one of the other compositions, I'm going to have to hold that. So Merp's getting kind of...
Yeah, it's big scrap breaking out here. It's kind of the wet noodle fight, but Akers is put rocks in his noodles. And actually, Merp turns around and says, right, I've had enough of you now.
Yeah.
Ulti for ulti, top lane.
Yeah, it didn't really feel like committing too far forward with the actual, you know, range of the ultimate. Just slamming down to gain some of that HP. But ultimately, he's going to have to be forced to reset, so he's going to miss a wave. Nvision actually have full priority on this side of the map. So we're going to see a little bit of an invade come in. We'll keep our eyes on Hepe, though, because they do have that full bot lane priority. See how far up he actually decides to roam into the river. Seems like it's not going to be too far, as PFI is just going to be happy to secure away this. Crab knows he has no priority in the top side, so willing to just drop this buff. Seems like London probably have a little bit of an inkling that this is likely occurring.
Hook. Oh, does connect by Jeppe. Gets the flay off as well. Spark ignited.
Wow.
And he is just cooked. Jeppe secures the kill.
Yeah. Jeppe is really good at this fresh champion. Not sure if we've
He's the Fresh Prince.
All right. Well, you know what? I'll let you. You can fill some time here.
I can fill some time, can I?
Yeah, you can fill some time here for that one.
What for that?
For the threat. Come on, Fresh Prince.
I thought that was good.
Okay. All right. Well, that was good.
Gordrinker said he really is the Fresh Prince. That lantern will bring PFI in as well, who lands the cask, the unleashed power. BB still gets out from that somehow.
Yeah, PFI not quite able to grab the lantern. Lantern was a little bit short range. I'm not sure if he threw it at maximum range or not to bring Hepe in, or to bring PFI in. So BB Muffin, he limps away from the play.
He's helping him with his Weight Watchers. He's got to walk for it.
moving forward, we'll have to see whatever Nvision can look to secure this Herald, because BB Muffin's going to come back out onto the map at the same time as Beely is. However, because Hepe was a little low on resource, he is going to have reset, whereas Longstaff is actually first to the play here. So Nvision temporarily have numbers advantage, so it looks like the Herald is going to be secured up as the London bot lane actually, in tandem with PFI, opts to open back out onto the bottom side of the map. So this is just going to be a Herald traded over. And this is one thing I always like to point out, is that when teams pick up things like Herald, things like Dragon, you always look for the cross map in those jungle camps. So PFI is going to be able to secure away the blue buff. See if he's able to secure away anything else for himself. Like, he's actually going to donate over to Beely, looks like. So it's going to be Beely picking up that lead for himself. PFI looking for the wolf camp, but he will find Longstaff.
Yeah, I don't know if Longstaff wants anything to do with PFI, to be honest, although
but he does nothing's
about with the bubble. Could put him to nap, but not going to find him.
Ah, not quite in smite range. Honestly, if Nvision wanted to punish this a little harder, they could have had Yuna walk down here with that Grand Starfall to stop this from recurring. PFI, though, looks like he's probably going to get this Grump. Yeah, there you go. Smite comes down, and oh, something we've not really noticed is then Voxney has silently been eating away at that tower.
And the farm. Oh,
yeah, he's done it again.
Here's the lantern, here's the follow-up, and this time, BB has nowhere to go. Wow. Jeppe is honestly amazing at these hooks.
So, all right, teams, if you're watching, if you're listening, got a bit of a proposition for you, right? So we all recall Archie's week 1 performance on Aatrox, right? And we saw the bans that came out after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going to throw that one out there. Nvision could get potentially punished for trying to drop the Herald here.
Yeah, they've been very greedy, and with the Citadel, the follow-up is easy. Yuna slides in, and Merp's able to secure the kill. Yuna's running away, but the Stormbringer brought down on top of him. Yuna is going to get heavily chunked here. They get the stun, they get the follow-up, and Beely finds 2 kills. Honestly, gorgeous execution. The Rift Herald was charged out, but it doesn't take the tower, and now Den Voxney eats a bubble. Is going to get a big chunk out of him from BB Muffin, who picks up a teleport as well there. Then Voxney's ignited, then should be able to survive this one as PFI comes forward and looking for that last paddle star, not going to hit it.
It's a scary thought that then Voxney exhausted BB Muffin there, and then Voxney still nearly died to that paddle star. As I mean, he's on vision, so it's not like it's the hardest hook in the world to hit, but it is still very good aim. Aims well, aims true. BB Muffin no flash this time to escape that play. And let's just look at how fast Akers gets blown up by the combination of Merpillion and Beely coming through. And Yuna does get run down here, uses the upgraded Aegis shield to try and get that movement speed away, but it's not quite enough.
Wave's going to crash in, but Akers wants nothing to do with staying around there, even though no one was actually about. Then Voxney is going to go out to his top side and catch this farm. He's got himself the Gale Force now, double longsword as well. Then Voxney is super strong right now. He's gotten so much free farm on his own with that first turret blood and all the plates all to himself.
Yeah.
Then Voxney is kind of rich. I mean, we can have a look at the gold. Oh my lord.
He's approaching double the gold of Spark. And I mean, he's going to get plates up here on the top side as well. Yeah. And I mean, honestly, this is something been looking into a little bit, because then Voxney, I believe, has, I want to say it's the highest gold per minute amongst any AD carry in the UKLC. Fun fact, if you're wondering why it's games like this. London do funnel the resources into this guy as Hepe looking onto Akers, but Longstaff's here.
Yeah, they are going to throw a lot out there, but PFI is able to secure the kill. Everything been thrown down, and then Voxney will lose his life to Yuna. Teleport's coming in. They're just waiting for the backup. Here's Merp. Merp may just look to jump under the tower. The Stormbringer decides not to go for it, but it comes in from Jeff. Bubble's going to go wide just narrowly. And now Beely steps up towards this top side, gets himself the orbs down, but not able to connect it quite yet. And Yuna will lose his life to Beely. He takes him out.
Yeah, and honestly, it starts off as what looked like was going to be a very, I might have to hold this. As Bubble lands.
Might just be one dead bear. Hook's going to land. Longstaff's going to find himself a little bit of a turnaround here, keeping himself alive, able to trade out before he dies. The feathers come in from Spark, but he can't even find the kill. Beely flashes forward, and one last orb will secure the kill. London coming out on top in this fight.
Yeah, London, that final play definitely makes it all the worthwhile. And I mean, I do suppose they did pick up then Voxnay's bounty, whatever it would have been, but how worth it is it really is then? Voxnay's going on to Akers.
Just feeling it. Akers takes some of his down. Killer instincts forward. Akers is down. Then Voxnay is mad after getting killed earlier.
Yeah, the range technology, unfortunately for Akers, is just not quite there this game. As we're going to get the replay, and it just starts off with Akers actually being caught out here by Hepe and the rest of the London crew. And the man drop comes down real fast in response. And the damage is there to take down then Voxnay, and then this is when Merp teleports in a little bit over-aggressive, taking a couple of tower shots, and the death sentence can't be capitalized on. And the hook in return forces a flash out, and Yuna and Vision, the rest of the crew, feel like they can chase forward a little bit, but just a little too overzealous in the return. Not respecting the fact that Beely would eventually make his way up here as, we come back into frame with a death sentence. Longstaff's dead. That's how that one goes. BB Muffin. Again, another one. It's absolutely insane. As Yuna now feeling like donating his life away. Not quite sure where Jake is, guys, so I'm going to give you some play-by-play. Jamada style. As
I was muted.
Akers, oh, you was muted. All right, well, Akers is also dead on the top side.
I like, oh my lord.
Did you not find this strange when I was talking during the fight?
No.
No?
No, I didn't.
No. That's okay.
Sometimes I'm so loud, I can't even hear you.
Oh. Oh, that's good to know. Well, this game is looking like London securing second place.
Yeah,
coming out of week 4.
I think that might be a fair...
I think that might be a fair assessment. As honestly, Hepe landing death sentence after death sentence in this play. This is an interesting time to cut a replay. There you go. Everything's on fire today. It's okay.
Oh.
Scat of the week though. Not quite gonna.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm still seeing this game in frames at the moment. So, oh my lord.
You know what
Spark.
I'm not seeing in frames is Spark nearly dying. That's why I'm not seeing in frames. As here we have. The death one is actually landing onto BB Muffin, but I mean, Longstaff feels like he's the charity worker today. As then Voxnay. So BB Muffin finding himself caught out by another death sentence, and Yuna feeling like he wants to lemming as well, but come out of the replay.
Have a look at Jepe's inventory right now.
I mean, ability haste does that. Actually, so if a
Kindle Gem is not unique anymore, so the cooldown is flat.
I wonder what the reason is.
How much ability haste has he got?
I mean, he's got the Lucid Boots, right? So
I think there's still a bug where we won't be able to see it, so we'll have to do the maths ourselves.
No. When you extend, oh right, no.
Yeah, okay. There is a bug. With
wait, observer, could you hover? Oh, does it work?
I want to see what runes he's got. So he's got 20 from his
and then
thing.
10 from each. So that's 50.
Yep.
You.
How much is relic?
What's the full? Oh yeah, what does relic give to? Oh, actually doesn't give anything.
Okay, cool. Relic doesn't give any, so he's at flat 50. But has he got like transcendence? Has he got? He's got
cosmic insight doesn't actually give flat ability haste anymore. It gives item haste and something else.
Okay, so
but he does have 8 ability haste in his runes though. So he's got 58 ability haste. That's somewhere in the realms of like 35% CDR, give or take.
I mean, if you're throwing that many hooks out,
yeah, don't see the issue with it.
No, Jepe's getting jumped onto. The Grand Starfall. Great cast, actually, by PFI. Teleport burnt as well as the hook by Longstaff. Not quite as flashy as what Jepe's been doing.
Yeah,
he's going to miss out on that one.
Whilst all of this is going down, look where then Voxnay's heading. You see that big old wave on the bottom?
I see that big old wave.
Yeah, that looks like a wave for the. Oh wait, it's.
No, don't worry.
Well, you know, he's keeping the numbers high. That's the important thing. Doesn't have the highest CS in the game though. Beely does right now. As I hear we're gonna have the gold graph come up, I think, but I really don't want to look at it. You can see London have snowballed the game a little bit here. As, in all fairness, I feel like the gold lead was slightly bigger than 6,000 not too long ago. As
oh, he's okay.
Yeah, he's fine. Honestly, London firm control of the game. Doesn't really feel like Nvision have many ways back into the game, as many of these champions don't really have the best sort of in-game comeback mechanics. Comeback mechanics being things like, really strong, low counter play, wave clear, strong peeling tools. I mean, they do obviously, Spark is here with Featherstorm, but clearing out big minion waves isn't really Xayah's thing if she's going to be threatened all the while. It really does just feel like London are going to slowly take this one home now. That being said, Nvision do thrive in the later game team fights, and we saw them honestly bite back versus Enclave in a very similar situation to this. So can't necessarily count them out just yet, but can't ignore the feeling of how the game state currently is.
Akers found Merp, but Merp's kind of okay. He got the chem tank, he's got the Q, so he's able to move away.
Yeah, he's a tanky boy.
Dragon's Soul up in a minute 30, something we probably not really talked too much about. It's a very early soul, and it's an ocean. Yeah. You think that PFI and Merp are going to be hard to kill? They're going to get even worse. As Longstaff might find himself a fat man, and that hook is going to find the scuba diver. They've got the flay, they've got the CC to work with, and Longstaff just has to flash before he can get caught.
Yeah, flash away. And honestly, it's also been a bit of a tendency of Longstaff. In this game, I can definitely be a little more forgiving because of, honestly, how far out of Nvision's hands it currently feels.
Is there going to be a second charge here? I mean, Spark could get assassinated by...
Spark, I don't know if he has the damage. I mean, he stopped autoing, so I don't know.
Okay, so second charge, that tower's low.
I mean, Nvision, to win a fight, realistically, they need, I don't know, they need some kind of miracle. Biblical intervention, perhaps. As, I don't really see them finding a way back into this game in many worlds.
That wave's going to crash into this bot lane tower as well any moment now. Beely's still got his mid-tier 1 standing. Only one turret has been taken by Nvision. Ben's crashed the wave. Honestly. And Nvision, they're just going to slowly get bled out here.
Oh!
They're trying to step up forwards. That's a lot of damage to Spark. He's pretty chunked right now.
Oh.
Yuna jumps over the wall. Beely gets himself caught out, but uses the stopwatch to keep himself alive for the moment. The feathers are going to get pulled back, and that is Spark losing his life. Meanwhile, Voxney is going to get locked down and shut down, but ultimately it doesn't matter. London taking himself a double kill onto Merpillion. He's looking for the triple kill as well. Akers is about to gnaw out and slam him back, but the shield comes in from the lantern, and Akers just has to run to the win. Soul, in the meanwhile, will get secured for London, although Jeppe looking for Akers. Although Akers maybe just be looking to turn it around onto him. Soul will be secured any moment, and the healing's going to start to pop for these London members. Hook goes wide, Flay goes wide, and here comes Akers for the turnaround, but Merp gets the shield, gets everything, and that's the delayed ace for London.
Yep, delayed ace, and I think expecting that outcome there as PFI going to secure this Ocean Soul for the London side, and should just be smooth sailing from here to a victory. Moving up second into the standings, you imagine. As, honestly, nice heads-up play from Yuna to try and take down Beely, but again, similar to last game, not pressing tab, not recognizing, hey, this champion's got a stopwatch, so losing out there on the pick, and honestly, everyone on both fronts from the Nvision side just dropping slowly. Well, I say slowly, it was actually quite quick. As Akers, I mean, he flashes over the wall, but his fate was almost always sealed, as Epe probably misses the second hook I think I've seen this game.
Well, Baron's getting started, 23 minutes on the clock, and honestly, London just looking very dominating right now.
Oh,
3 items on Voxney to 2.
He's gonna try.
Grand Starfall's coming in. Yuna's gonna try and steal this one away.
He got it!
Down.
Hey!
He stole the Baron! loses his life, but that may just bought 5 minutes for Nvision.
Yeah, we'll have to see how much time it does actually buy. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, likely, I don't know. It's almost a 10,000 gold lead, but we've seen bigger leads thrown. So we'll have to see, but Yuna is dead for now, and I feel like London, with that volley bear too, can actually just brute force a dive. Not gonna care too much
They're
about
actually
the
just, they're molding right now after having that stolen. They were like, we could have won the game with this. They're going to take this inhibitor here. The box comes up from Jeppe to make sure nobody can chase forward. As Den actually does eat a sleepy bubble. And Feathers are going to get called out. He's going to dart back to safety as the depth charge is used. A lot used to keep Denvoxney away. London just looking to chill out for the moment. They do get the hook, and now Longstar's going to get chunked out heavily, but Denvoxney has to run away as Yuna jumps in onto him, charges backwards with the ultimate to keep himself alive. But the sleep lands once again. It is just homing onto Denvoxney, but even so, the team are able to keep him alive. Jeppe lands a really long hook onto BB. BB steals the Gale Force, stays out the bubble, and it's not going to be quite enough here as the wave gets caught in the mid lane by Akkers as he's trying to deal with the supers. But here comes Beely, the scatter of the week, not going to quite hit onto him, and Akkers is just going to be sent backing into the jungle. PFI, he's put the Nikes on and he's running Akkers down. Akkers may just look to try and get himself a cheeky execution off here.
I mean, he's trying. He's quite quick. He's you weren't there for the oh
no, he's gonna get executed.
He's got it. Yeah, having flashbacks there.
Akkers.
Yeah, but during the relegations of which Akkers was on Barrage Academy, we actually saw a very familiar pathing come out, where he was on Lilia and he made a pretty grand escape. Here we have the replay, and honestly, it is just Nvision getting relatively routed, and Akkers does his best to take down his old teammate Mbili on the backside, whilst the rest of his team is honestly just getting run through. Just doesn't quite have the damage for it.
I'd like to see a QSS from Denvoxney. He keeps getting these bubbles onto him by BB Muffin.
I mean,
I have to give massive props to BB Muffin. He's 0-3 right now, but he is just
pretty good impact.
Heat-seeking missiles onto Denvoxney with these bubbles, honestly.
I mean, it's why, I mean, last split after we played against BB Muffins and Zoe, we banned it away every single game for this reason. He is a monster on this channel. He is very, very proficient at it. I am surprised you don't see him on it more frequently, in all honesty. Perhaps just a stylistic change between summer and spring from Nvision as a team. Of course, a different roster. But yeah, I agree. QSS for Denvoxney. It wouldn't be too terrible here. Yeah, it's been clipped by quite a few.
Well, for now, looking to take down this last turret. Say last turret, there's still 4 turrets in the game, but taking out that turret.
And honestly, something I just realized, PFI just lost a smite fight. That's kind of commendable in a way. For any long-term viewers of UKLC, you'll know PFI sort of, in a way, became a bit of a meme. Don't take smite fights versus this guy. He will win. So I guess if there's anything for Nvision to take away as a W, it could be that. I don't know if there's going to be much else.
Don't exist.
Yeah, I'm just trying to help out here, best I can. Nvision likely going to have to at least make some kind of contest for this Elder Dragon, though, because if they do give over the Elder, that buff is certainly far more powerful than Baron could ever be. Pepe's fishing.
No, he's not getting any fishies there, but Denvoxney's getting jumped onto. Lantern to safety, depth charge into the back line. Here comes Akkers, though. He's about to gnar out, but he is so far away from the fight. And now Yuna gets caught out by the scatter of the week. A lot of damage layered in as Akkers tries to find himself a glide, and Denvoxney just flashes in after him. Yuna will lose his life to Denvoxney, and Beely locked down. But now, Beely's still able to survive, and it's a double kill onto the Kai'Sa. They find everything as the teleports are coming in. Denvoxney's making his way forward. They're putting the damage into Spark. Spark sees the Feather Storm, tries to pull the feathers back. It's a triple kill onto Denvoxney. BB flashes forward. They get the stunner, and now Day gets himself a quadra kill.
Do I smell a penta?
Him forward. Can they give Beely? Can they give Denvoxney the pentakill? It's not going to happen as Mapillion finds the ace. London catch the waves, and they're going to close this game out. London in style. take the win over Nvision.
Yeah, London, for a while now, the game has felt pretty much done. And they are finally going to put the finishing touches on this game. They're going to take down the Nexus. And they are going to leapfrog M&M in the standings. M&M dropping their game earlier to, of all teams, demise. So London securing that second spot for themselves. A really, really impactful win for the top end of the standings. And honestly, London just sweeping Nvision to the wayside. Nvision looking considerably weaker than their earlier weak performances right now.
26 kills in a 28-minute game. Really big stuff there from London, getting that win. And it now separates them from M&M. They now pull ahead and are locked into second, M&M in third. Bulldog are in, I don't actually know. We'll bring that up in a minute.
Bulldog are 4-4. We'll have the standings.
Let's talk a little bit more about the game.
Yeah. Well, what is there to talk about from the game, Jake? Because I think it was just London kind of through and through finding their ins, and it all started off with this first blood. Very nice gank setup from Hepe. And Hepe, honestly, a phenomenal performance on this fresh yet again.
Yeah.
Be too surprised to see him get that Hachi treatment. I say, yeah, I mean, it's just another death sentence into a kill for the London bottom side, and it's just heat seeking, really. Doesn't seem to actually miss, as I believe this is going to be another one.
So good. BB, I think, maybe you could argue he survived because of that gore drinker heal.
Yeah.
Yes, actually, yes. He would have, the gore drinker was exactly where he lived.
Is this just a Hepe highlight reel? Are we supposed to be a London highlight reel or
it's all Jeppe.
It's all as honestly, death sentence after death sentence, actually securing first 3 kills of the game for London, and then after this play, honestly, kind of just felt out of Nvision's hands, as this, I believe, turned into a slightly more extended fight, or perhaps there was another skirmish after this, as Nvision really just couldn't keep pace with London. And this is what we've said. Nvision, they're one of the slower teams in the league, and London have been one of the more proactive teams, perhaps the most proactive team in the early game at executing on, early game plans. Honestly,
yeah.
Sort of.
I don't know why I said awesome. My voice is breaking. It's been apparently a long day back for me. So I'm going to take a moment to chill out. And Jamada, you're going to talk to us about your favorite play from that game. There you go, mate.
I mean, honestly, I just want to watch the quadruple over again. Just going to keep our eyes on Den Voxney to see exactly how he made it happen, because it was a bit of a split fight. If we could get the drawing board up for us.
There we go.
Production, thank you very much. As here we are. So, honestly, it just starts off London sitting in fog here. Oh, there we go. Right, London, I had to restart the clip. As London sitting in fog, they fish for something, not quite able to find it. Longstaff just feels like he is able to go in into Den Voxney, and the ultimate follows all the way through, and Akaz has found himself a very deep teleport, but it's not quite enough, and Yuna, he's trying to make things uncomfortable here for Den Voxney and for BD, and Akaz does actually, he is about to gnar out, but Den Voxney, you're going to see, just flashes over the wall, I believe, or following forward with Yuna, and he picks up the first kill here. BD actually does a really good job at buying time with Akaz on top of him, and all the while you can see actually on the top side, London were kind of losing out because it is just Hepe and Gragas up here, but eventually the cavalry will arrive. Death sentence, dying breath of Hepe gives Den Voxney this triple kill, and then this is when I could smell it. The pentakill was on its way, as I believe it. But
it doesn't even go all the way to the quadra kill. So tragic. That's so tragic. Yeah, I mean, I think we had quite a few very devastating games. M&M versus Demise was not. M&M versus Demise was actually a really good game. I think Bulldog and Barrage and M&M Demise were the 2 games we had today, but were pretty close. But Resolve kind of, put their stomping boots on and stomped Enclave. London, that was just incredibly dominating stuff from them as a team. We will be doing an interview with Merpillion, hopefully, but we are just currently having some camera issues with him. So, it's not worth it if we can't see his face, because he's got a very pretty face. And you will need to be exposed to it.
Yes, I agree. Merp is a very handsome young man.
I just got bad news. No camera from Merp. Right, hopefully he's going to come and join us soon, because this, it's one of those things that normally we can sit back and we can talk about the game.
Yes.
But like it was just very dominant. So I want to get the opinion of somebody who was playing that game.
Yeah.
Merp, I know you're not on camera, and that's really sad. But hello. Big B. How you doing, mate? You right?
Oh.
Yeah, actually, what the hell were you doing? Well, I'm sure it's been really fun playing on this team, but good luck whatever team picks you up next.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, you guys, that was incredibly dominating stuff from you guys, and you've also now secured yourself second in the group. Not in the group, in the league. There are no groups here. It's just one.
Jake.
Am I wrong?
No, we've got pressing issues. I think.
Oh, we can't hear Merp.
Yeah, the stream can't hear Merp. Or maybe they can.
So for everyone at home, Merpillion said he deliberately stole Denvoxy's pentakill because he said he didn't deserve it.
Yeah. He also said that Denvoxney is not the star carry of the London team. It's actually him, so that's why he took the penta away. Honestly, he has he doesn't feel bad about it at all. Very happy that he stole that pentakill from Denvoxney.
They can't hear you, Merp. You can't defend yourself here, mate. I'm just going to tell you, you need to get in the Google Hangouts. That's why they can't hear you on the stream, because you're not in the right thing. I mean, we need you in Discord so we can hear you. We're kind of really breaking down the curtains here so everyone can see what's going on behind the screen. There we go. I can see someone's just shown up on your thing. There's an icon.
Oh my god.
Hey, production. Can people hear Merp?
They dropped me in too soon.
Yes, I got him in. There we go. So Merp, why did you steal Denvoxy's pentakill? You can now defend yourself.
Okay, well, it was all a big misunderstanding. I tried to slow him with my E, Beely tried to slow him with his W, and then together, that was too much damage. Denvoxney disagrees. He said that he didn't even need us to slow him. So, I mean, yeah.
Alright, so
I'm sure he was fine about it. I'm sure he was fine.
No, he wasn't. He was absolutely going at me. He was screaming, like he turned cam on. You know, it was horrible.
Invite you for a 1v1 afterwards.
It's time to get on Rust, buddy.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, good stuff from the London boys today, with Eminem dropping their game earlier to demise. You guys leapfrog into second, so you know, looking forward to, I believe the rematch will probably be during next week's Super Week. How do you think your odds are moving into Eminem? Because obviously now, coming off the back of a 1-2 Super Week, you guys, I think you just clean swept, right? You just went 3-0 in the Super Week, or am I mistaken? Yeah, so you guys hot on form. You know, how do you think your chances are into that matchup? Because obviously the last time around, it was relatively one-sided. I think it really kind of took a couple of fights, and then all of a sudden it felt like Eminem kind of just didn't want to let off the gas. How do you feel now that you've seen them kind of falter a little bit this week, and you guys seem to be playing in much better form? How do you see your chances into them?
Well, let me just say, the first Eminem game that we played, it didn't happen. It's gone from my memory. It was just a tragic game. Like, I wasn't really focused. We weren't feeling it, you know, like, you know, we wouldn't make any of the mistakes that we made that game again, I think. So I think it's going to be a lot closer, and I feel like we're definitely a top 2 team in the league at the moment.
To be honest, mate, I think that's a perfect place to leave it. I honestly can't really disagree. The standings say that you're the top one at the top. Well, you are in the top 2 right now. Yeah. And honestly, that performance was incredible. So congratulations on your win, Merp, and good luck with your games in next week's Super Week. And we'll speak to you soon, all right?
See ya.
And for us, we're gonna start rounding down, winding down, cooling down. Let's have a talk about all the action we had today, and have a look at some of our favorite moments from today as well.
Yeah, and honestly, whilst a lot of the games did feel a little one-sided, still pretty exciting day nonetheless. Barrage and Bulldog. This is a beautiful engage from KDO.
Like, that engage was honestly breathtaking.
Yeah, it's not often you get to see 4 or 5-man pulverizers come in, but KDO finds his mark there, and this is just Resolve running through Enclave. Seems like business as usual for them now here in the UKLC. Drafting those compositions that just don't let off the gas. And what an absolute breathtaking game this was to see Demise claim their second victory of the split over who were the second place team, joint second place in M&M, who now obviously fall down to third place, with London taking up their victory in the final game of the day, which we just saw, which after Harry dies, and so does the Fizz, we will see. I hope we have one clip of the Nvision and London game. And yeah, I mean, honestly, Nvision, they fell out of it from around 10 minutes in. London, honestly, doing what we expect from them, giving Boston a huge lead, letting him honestly carry the game. But it was a team effort today, Jake. It wasn't just all about Boston.
No, I think also Jeppe was, you know, the secret carrier this game. It's not even secret. He was landing every hook. He set his team up for success.
Wait, did he finish the game with 4 Kindle gems?
That's the real question.
It is imperative that we find out. But
I need to know how many Kindle gems he had. How much cooldown did he have? Let us know. Guys, let's look at the standings and see where we are right now. So at the top of the tables, it's Resolve 9-0, then London 6-3, M&M in third, then tied for fourth and fifth, it's Barrage and Bulldog. Tied below them, Enclave and Nvision, and now slowly starting to climb their way back up that ladder with a win over M&M. It's Demise 2-7. Really, really big stuff here. Might see a bit of a shake up towards the bottom of the tables. Maybe we'll move. Yeah, I can speak, I promise. Moving up towards the middle of the tables. Let's have a little look at next week's games, or this coming Saturday, as we'll be starting off with M&M versus Bulldog, Resolve versus London, Nvision versus Barrage, and Demise versus Enclaves. Resolve versus London. That looks pretty good.
I think that's going to be the tastiest game of that Saturday lineup. And honestly, now first versus second, we'll see. We had a lot of expectations around M&M, of course. I'm not quite sure if my hopes are as high for London into Resolve. Though London, honestly, they are playing on form. So we'll have to see, as London actually have a pretty tough run of schedule. If you think about it, they're going to have Resolve on the opening day of Super Week. And then I'm pretty sure M&M does fit into that Super Week, either Sunday or Monday. So going to have at the very least 2 very tough opponents to make sure they at least attempt to secure that second place position. See if they can actually take down Resolve, which honestly seems like the Herculean task of the split for all of the teams here.
Yeah, I mean, hey guys, don't look so sad. This you know, Super Week's over, but good news is next Saturday, Super Week's going to be starting up again. There's another 3 days of UKLC action to join us here, so make sure you tune in for that one. And you know, if you're saying, oh, but I can't wait till Saturday, don't worry. We've got 3 days of NLC starting tomorrow here on twitch.tv/NLC LOL. So you can get your hands on that. So plenty of league to dig your teeth into. There's only 1 day off this week. Great. We'll see you then.
You're having fun.
See you later, guys.
See you guys.
What's that?